Welcome back to the Britball YouTube channel, everyone. Today we're bringing you guys our free agency video. First off is the NFC, and we're going to be covering the departures, the coming-ins, and just to clarify, we are not including trades in this video.
So there's some high-profile names that aren't in certain teams' incomings and outgoings. This is strictly people who have come in on a free. No trading of picks, no nothing. We're going to go through all 16 teams very, very quickly, 4 for each division, and then the next video will be regarding the AFC. And this video is recorded, it's just turned Friday on the 19th of March, so the free agents up until this point, people on the 19th and the 20th won't be in this video.
Yeah. Well, bear in mind it's still Thursday night in the US, actually.
Yeah, so yeah, we should probably
Thursday the 18th in the US.
But anyway, speed run.
Let's
Starting
go.
with Dallas Cowboys.
You go.
We've given them a B because we think they've had a very... They've done nothing major apart from the Dak Prescott deal, but they haven't lost anyone huge in return. Cameron Irving, if you watched our video, when he was drafted, he wasn't the best, even though it's not for the Cowboys. He wasn't that good. But Dak Prescott, biggest bit of business. Next.
So, next, New York Giants. We're giving them a B+. I mean, no real splash signings, but some decent additions with John Ross, kind of unproven. Is he a bust? Could be his redemption. Kyle Rudolph, solid target for Danny Dimes. And they haven't let go anyone too big, so we're giving them a B+, easy enough.
And Leonard Williams, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles, D. They have done absolutely nothing to address their shambles of a roster.
Yeah,
they
need
brought
a lot.
in 2 people, Andrew Adams and Hassan Ridgway. I've barely heard of them. You guys might have, I don't know. And they've got rid of Kevin Zeitler, who's actually a very good guard. I do like him. And Dalvin Tomlinson. They've done nothing to replace them. So as of the 19th of March, not good enough.
Yeah. Next up, Washington football team. I might be a bit biased on Ryan Fitzpatrick, but I love him. I think it's a great move for him, and I think him
mentor Heineke very well.
Him and Scary Terry, that's going to be fun for a year. Plus Curtis Samuel, that'll be fun. Bringing back Scherf, that's great. And then they have lost a good corner in Derby, but they have got a replacement there, and they can always draft another corner. We think it's A-. Pretty decent for agency so far.
Kicker's very good as well. I like him.
Yeah.
Chicago, B-. They brought in a lot of names. They've been very busy so far. As you can see, Allen Robinson with the franchise tag, Andy Dalton. That's the reason why this is a B-, because out of all the quarterbacks you got, there was talk. They actually put an offer in for Russell Wilson, and the Seahawks slept on it, came back the next day. GM said no. But outside of Dalton as your starter, you've addressed some key areas: defensive end, D-line, O-line. Admittedly, you could... start looking at O-line and a few more weapons outside of Allen Robinson, but I think a B- is fair considering how much they've done so far.
Yep. Next up, Lions.
Yeah.
They need so much, and they just haven't got it here. They have got a good running back in Jamal Williams, who we like.
I like him.
But not a proven number 1 back whatsoever. And then they've let go of some good players. Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones. That wide receiver unit is depleted.
Yeah.
Goff is going to have no one to throw to, really, apart from TJ Hockenson, who's not that good. And, other than that, a whole lot of nothing, really.
No.
So... Oh, and losing Justin Coleman, so that means Jeffrey Okuda is going to be in even more shit.
Green Bay, D+. They've brought back Aaron Jones, which is good for Rodgers, but this free agency and this draft should all be about helping Rodgers go that one step further with Green Bay. And what have they done? They've released the best centre in the league. They've released a very good second running back, although they have got I forgot his name, but they drafted someone who's a good backup to Aaron Jones, the big guy. Kirksey, even though he's in the defensive side, still a big loss. Tim Boyle's a meme. And Montravius Adams, I don't know too much about, but in this free agency, you're meant to be helping Aaron Rodgers. That you need to go for the splash of cash, and they just don't do it. You need to spend the money if you're going to get anywhere. They've won 1 Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. That's not good enough. He's capable of so much more. Splash the cash on the offense, on the offensive line and the weapons.
As the herd says, go and buy a sports car.
Yeah.
Stop with the Midwest attitude. So yeah,
D plus.
all right. Minnesota Vikings, some decent additions. We're giving them a B. They have let go of Carl Rudolph, one less weapon for Kirk, but then they've added a few decent players. I know they've got Weatherly from the Panthers.
Yeah.
They've got Tomlinson, decent tackle. And Patrick Peterson, again, their secondary was really bad last year. Even though they were injured, they were still really bad. So Patrick Peterson is a good guy to have, a good veteran presence. And we're giving him a B, nothing too splashy, but yeah, solid.
Yep. Falcons, D minus, just for the pure facts, they've done nothing. They've released the centre to Alex Mack, very good person. But apart from that, they've brought in someone who I've never heard of, and that's it. I understand they've got cap issues, and I know that, but you're meant to address them in free agency by releasing people or giving them away, but they've done nothing so far, so D minus.
Next up, I'm going to give this to you.
Okay, thank you. I've given us a B. We've addressed some very important positions in linebacker and, well, Hassan Reddick's more of an edge presence. But Denzel Perryman I'm very happy with. Taylor Moton getting the franchise tag, hugely impressive. Cam Irving, we've made a video about him, so if you haven't seen that, when he was drafted, he didn't really get a good grade, so I'm not...
Browns.
In the Browns video. He's not the flashiest of people. Pat Elflein, yeah, okay. Our snappers now it's off its 13th season with us. Morgan Fox, I'm not gonna lie, I read it as Megan Fox at first, so I'm not really that excited. And then you look at our outgoings, Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, I know you're a
big
bit gutted
loss.
about it.
I'm very gutted with that, but I knew it was gonna happen. Manhurts we don't really have a tight end group, to be honest. Weatherly's a bit of a miss. Pallardi. I think a B's fair. We've addressed some key issues in our defence, but we still need to address the secondary. We want a corner.
New Orleans, we all knew this was going to happen.
This was expected.
All the years of having that Swiss bank, and it's finally caught up to them.
Yeah,
100 mil in the red, and they've had to do some big cuts to even get near to being able to sign anyone, really.
In fairness, the Saints, they've kept some fairly impressive people.
Yeah.
Ty Montgomery, they franchise tags Marcus Williams. That's a very good safety. Jameis Winston, he can not bounce back, but he can definitely, pull his own weight in New Orleans. He's still a very talented guy and he's a first round pick for a reason. But you look at the outgoings.
Yeah, you've got Hendrickson, 13 sacks last year, gone. Emmanuel Sanders, deep threat for Jameis, gone. I mean, and then Janoris Jenkins, Jared Cook. It's just
there's too much talent gone. And this was expected from the Saints, and a D plus is probably the best they're going to get, but it is out of their hands, unfortunately.
Yeah. Tampa Bay. You take it?
This whole free agency for Tampa Bay
home run.
Was simply to retain the players that got you to the Super Bowl, and they have retained every single one. There was talk that Levante David and Shaq Barrett, they'd have to decide which one to release, which one to keep, because they're the cap space. They've kept them both. Rob Gronkowski signed another contract. Chris Godwin's got the franchise tag. Ryan Succop's a very good kicker, although he does like to miss an extra point or two. And outgoings, they've released someone I've never heard of. I don't know who he is. And then an A plus. This free agency was all about keeping the band together. Yeah. And Tom Brady is definitely he's the magnet that has attracted even the defensive
cutting
players.
His contract.
Everyone wants to play for the Bucks, and it's all for him. Brilliant.
It's just crazy. Not JPP, not White, any of the linebackers.
Everyone has stayed. And they're still 11 million under the cap.
Exactly. Next up, we've got a pretty interesting free agency here. I think it is like up and down. You release Kenyon Drake, Patrick Peterson, Hassan Reddick, three really good players. Then you add AJ Green. You don't really know how that's going to go. And then the big deal, JJ Watt out of nowhere. That could be great with Chandler Jones. You never know how that's going to end up. It could be amazing. And then other than that, a few decent players. Matt Prater, decent kicker. And B minus. I mean, it would be a lot higher if they didn't let go of some key players.
Yeah,
definitely.
But it's a very impressive free agency. LA Rams C plus. They were over the cap. This was expected. I'm not surprised at all. They've given a fat contract to Leonard Floyd for 64 million on a 4-year deal. That is huge. But if you look at their outgoings, John Johnson, very talented. Troy Hill, he's decent. Morgan Fox came to us. Gerald Everett, I like him as a tight end. And I don't know the other three as much, but C+. I mean, I think they're still over the cap. They still need to cut, so this could look even worse. But Leonard Floyd is a huge signing. It's the outgoings.
If they haven't already, they need to restructure that Jalen Ramsey contract.
Oh, they do, yeah. It's ridiculous.
Giant. And I don't think the subs should get on you for not knowing any long snappers. Okay. Next up, the 49ers. This is pretty decent.
Very busy.
Yeah, very busy. You think they were going to make a quarterback move, if anything, but they've made other moves. They've given out the biggest contract ever for a fullback. So that's pretty impressive.
An offensive lineman, fattest contract
ever. And the fattest contract by like $1, I think. He was so petty.
It's petty.
Yeah. And then you got Emmanuel Mosley, decent cornerback depth. And then letting go, no one really of note. I mean, they just churn out defensive ends like they're nothing. Mm-hmm. And you've got Bosa there already. So that's fine. Yeah. And then, other than that, B+. And I think if they manage to... Well, it depends what they do in their quarterback situation. Yeah. If Jimmy G goes, if they get another one in. If they get in Sam Darnold, I'm knocking it down to a C. But it seems like everyone wants that to happen. I don't know why.
Seahawks, C-. Gerald Everett, as I said previously, he's very talented. Puna Ford and Akella Witherspoon, their names I have heard, but I don't know too much about them. Admittedly, props to actually buying into the O-line for once, and it shows that they are listening to Russell Wilson and his complaints. But outgoings, Shaquille Griffin, your secondary sucks already, and you've given away your best corner. Carlos Hyde, very talented. Philip Dorsett, very talented. David Moore's just come to us, so I'll have to see how that goes. But and Akella Witherspoon to replace Shaq Griffin, get off it. It's too much. You haven't addressed enough key issues.
If I was Wilson, I'd want out. I just want to leave now. I mean, that secondary is not winning any games. No. All right.
And that's it.
That is it.
That's all 16 teams
in the NFC. Speed run, 12 minutes.
So, obviously, we are missing a few big names with obviously no trades being involved. Like was Stafford, obviously he wasn't involved. Jared Cook wasn't involved.
Stafford Goff trade, yeah.
But there's the 16 teams. We've looked at where they need to strengthen, how they've strengthened, who they've got, what positions. And I'm telling you this now, just the NFC alone has changed our mock draft heavily.
Yeah.
They've addressed a lot of positions they need, and we will bring out another mock draft where it's going to be looking very, very different.
Yeah. And just a last thing, these graphics took us ages. Well, Ollie, ages to make.
4 hours this took us.
Yeah. So any support is much appreciated. Any likes, comments, anything. And we'll see you next time with AFC coming very soon.